OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter. Welcome to the Apter Chat. And today, the start of what I hope will become a series on here, whenever he wants to do it, the Poffo Proclamation. And who better to be the administrator of this segment but the genius, Lanny Poffo. Welcome, first time to OneWrestling.com.
I am the genius full of glory and renown, still living in the past. Thank you, Bill Apter. Thanks for being such a mensch all these years. I'll tell you what a wonderful past you have with our family, and Randy loved you too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And show everybody that T-shirt that you're wearing for your brother, whose memory lives on in the business. You know, one of the things that I don't want to forget to talk about was when you and your brother were wrestling in the tennis mid-southern area, in the Lawler-Jarrett territory there. I remember coming over to you and to Randy and saying, a lot of fans all want to know what would happen if you two wrestled each other. And we did, with me as the photographer standing up on the ring. I shot a match in an empty arena with you against your brother, and Jerry Lawler was the referee. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you'd be amazed how many fans come up to me telling about that. That was one of their favorite articles ever. It had something special. And thank you for giving us all that national publicity. And who'd have thought it would culminate to this, where the Macho Man would become the most famous wrestler in the world. And I had a fantastic career thanks to him.
Yes.
Because if anybody remembers my name, it'll be because of his. You know, as a matter of fact, it was Jimmy Hart that opened the door that got Randy into Memphis, and then Randy brought me in, and it was Jimmy Hart that opened the door for the WWF, and then Randy got me in. So as you can see, when a turtle is on a table, you have to ask yourself, how did he get there? They're not good at climbing. Somebody put them there, and never forget, somebody has to put you there. And if Randy had the goods, and they gave him an opportunity, all they did is hit home runs and run for touchdowns.
Well, Randy was so incredible, and as you know, every time you go to another web page, there's always someone saying, come on, WWE, put him in the Hall of Fame.
Right. I'll tell you what, it's sad. It's ridiculous. Now, Randy's feelings were, he wanted the whole family in or nothing at all. Randy was very angry over something that happened many years ago in the Brandon Byrne Arena, with my father being denied a chance to get in the Battle Royal with his friends Luthez, Gene Kiniski, Keller Kowalski, all these people.
I remember that.
And Randy was not the kind of a guy to forgive and forget. Randy held a grudge. So many years went by, and Randy was angry and bitter and this and that, but he stayed and stayed. And then, let me just say this. I'm here with the olive branch, okay? If you don't think that my father is worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, even though he was worthy of being in Ripley's Believe It or Not, which was even better than anybody's Hall of Fame, and if you don't think that I'm as good to be in the Hall of Fame, then fine. I don't have a battery of lawyers on retainer. I'm not going to sue anybody. Go ahead and put Randy in the Hall of Fame. Do it. Do it now. Do it quickly. Do it before you lose fans because everybody's so disgusted. Yes, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Only thing I ask, don't invite me. I refuse to make a speech. Do not pay me, because I don't need your 30 pieces of silver. I have something better than the Hall of Fame. I am one of the few wrestlers whose passive income is greater than his expenses. Now,
interesting.
No, this means I'm not bragging about how much I had. I'm bragging about how little I need. In this world of consumerism, I read a poem called The Village Blacksmith by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and one of the lines that struck a chord with me, and he looks the whole world in the face, for he owes not any man. So I have a house with no mortgage. I have a car with no payments. And you know, I go around in these cul-de-sacs, and I look at all these homes, and I think to myself, 4 bathrooms, only 1 butt, or something. You know, how many bathrooms do you need?
Really?
How many bedrooms do you need?
You should be my financial advisor.
Well, just read a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. A part of all you earn is for yours to keep. Now, the
Now,
thing
you're
is,
not, he's, just in case you people on Long Island are watching this, he's not talking about the Babylon, the town on Long Island. But go ahead.
okay, there you go. But no, I'm talking about a very old book that said a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Now, you would think that would be basic, they say common sense, but it isn't that common because everybody wants a four-letter word called M-O-R-E, more. I want more, more, more. Now, the situation is,
There's another good four-letter word, by the way.
what's that?
F-R-E-E.
Free.
Right.
I want free lunch.
Yeah.
I want free everything.
Yeah.
No, the situation is, I did need, I was married, I had a daughter. Now my daughter is going to be 30 years old, May 29th.
Wow.
And she doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink, she doesn't do drugs. She is a useful and prodigious citizen. I am a born-again bachelor. Now, at the time I worked for Vince McMahon, I did anything he asked to the best of my ability all the time. But if I would, anything I do now is strictly from force of habit because I no longer need anyone. I've got the FY money and I've got the FE money. Y stands for you, E stands for everybody. The F, I can't even think of what that is.
I got it. I got it. What when you look at since we're talking about your brother in the Hall of Fame, when you look at his credentials and you as a fan of the business as well, what in your opinion was his greatest moment in the business?
The greatest moment, well, of course, the match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Let us never forget that.
Classic.
But I want to say that I was pretending to be asleep in the back seat where Elizabeth and Macho Man were fighting because you can't win, you know, so I just pretended to be in the back seat sleeping. And then Randy finally said, Lanny, get up. And we're on our way to Fort Wayne, Indiana, where Randy was going to be bitten by a king cobra for a wrestling egg. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
He said, would you do it? And I said, I wouldn't do it in a million years. He said, but the snake is devenomized. And I said, I don't trust Jake Roberts further than I can throw you. And I said, I mean, because he has his, Jake, Andre's really a giant. Jake is really a snake. No, I love Jake Roberts. He's got more personality in his little finger.
Oh,
and I'm glad that he cleaned up his act. And I love Diamond Dallas Page for doing what he did.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Back to the story.
Even a devenomized snake is problematic. And no, I wouldn't do it. But I'm not the Macho Man. You are. And he said, that's right, and I'm going to do it. And Elizabeth said, that's fine. You're just having your brother get killed. And then what happened was Randy got 103 fever. I heard the snake died, but since I didn't see the body.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, how much did he give to this business?
Oh,
okay.
We would need to do probably a 3-year segment to do that properly.
Well, Bill, I don't want to be the reason the Macho Man is not in the Hall of Fame. So WWE, I know you're listening. Put him in. All I ask is leave me out of it, and I don't want to be paid because Randy wanted the entire Poffo family to be in there. And just in case we all meet in the great the great beyond, or you know, it's all a mystery. But in case I see him again, I want to be able to look him in the eye and say, hey, they did this. I don't have a battery of lawyers. If you think you want to put him in the Hall of Fame, I think it's a little late, and I think it would have been a lot better if Randy would have made the speech because nobody could do that like Randy could. Oh, yeah.
That sounds pretty. That's a very good imitation of your brother.
It's not a good enough imitation. That's why I don't want to make the speech. I want them, if it makes them feel a little bit less uncomfortable, go ahead and induct them. Please leave me out of it.
So wait a minute. This brings up an interesting topic. They decide to induct him, okay? And like you said, leave you out of it. So without your participation, who would be the one person in this business that you would like to induct him?
The one person in this, Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart, yes, absolutely.
You know why? Because if it wasn't for Jimmy Hart,
yeah,
he wouldn't have got to Memphis, and he wouldn't have got to WWF. And I'll tell you what, all he ever got for it is tires. And it's about time somebody came up to Jimmy Hart and said, thank you. I thank him every day. I love that man.
Oh, so do I. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
And, you know, if it wasn't for Jimmy Hart, Randy would have been the greatest talent that you've never heard of. Or you would have heard of him because you know everybody. But I'm talking about the world.
Well, what I'd like to do is, we're running out of time for this segment, is to come back on another segment and discuss the whole relationship with you, Jimmy, and your brother.
Okay, I'd be glad to do that. And
so thank you. Before we leave, of course, this is your proclamation. Do you have something specific to proclaim?
Yes, I've written 2 books, Limericks from the Heart and Lungs and Wrestling with Rhyme, and they're both on Kindle, and they're both Amazon.com bestsellers. Go on GeniusLannyPoffo.com, Genius, Genius, LannyPoffo.com, and you can get it on Kindle, you can get it on paperback if you're an old school guy like Bill Apter. But I'm so excited that I am a best-selling author. And you know, I'm going to be 59 years old December 28th, and
you don't look like it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I can't do that with my
Brutus the Barber Beefcake cut my hair on WrestleMania 6.
Yes.
Now he's going bald, and look at me.
Look at that. My goodness. But so your website again, where they can get this
GeniusLannyPoffo.com. And let me just say that Jeff Doherty is my webmaster, and he's got something called WrestleHost.com, where he is giving independent wrestlers that don't have a lot of money a fair shot in getting into the World Wide Web. And I suggest that if you want a website and you want the best, but don't want to pay a lot, go to WrestleHost.com. My friend Jeff Doherty from Prince Edward Island is going to take care of you.
Tell him the genius sent you. Lanny Poffo, we will talk to you again in a week or two. We will get some more proclamation from you. And if you fans have any questions that you would like to ask Lanny Poffo, send them to us. You can either put it right underneath here on YouTube, or you can send it to beapter, like Bapter, at onewrestling.com. Remember, it's the number 1, not the word. Beapter at onewrestling.com. Lanny Poffo, thank you for being face-to-face with us today.
The pleasure is mine. God bless us all.
Give us an oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.